Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted custom cameras in Minecraft? Well, I do. So I did that. As per request from someone in the Discord server, link will be down in the description. He has asked me did I make custom cameras using map art, and if I could give a more in-depth tutorial. In response, I made a new system, which you're seeing right now, which has the ability to quite literally be copy and pasted in any of your guys' worlds and just plug and play, put in as you need, where you can set up your own actions per button and have it all working fine and dandy. The system is a few commands, and I don't expect you to know what everything does, but I will give a brief rundown. All those are kind of useless right now, I'll get into that. But the main stuff is this chunk right here and this chunk right here. First, I probably should explain how the system works. So here it is. Everything is marked out for the people who get the world download. You sit in the seat. It tracks your player movements. Now, if this was your map, instead of having this armor stand visible, I would make it invisible. And also, you can do whatever you want. So when it's outside the area, it doesn't, be seen or be able to get punched by other players. When you get out of the camera, though, it does return to the bomb. Another thing is, don't care about if any of these die. It all resets upon clicking the reset button, which is on the commands. The system works pretty simply. You have a grid. Each grid has a place where it tracks. So as you see, if I look at E4, it will display E4. Look at B2, it will display B2. All of these are programmable buttons that you can set to whatever you want. Right now, I have just a sound trigger and a basic camera command. As you see, if I click this first sound trigger, plays the first sound, click the second one, plays the second sound, and this is a camera control. This is exactly what it would be like if you're building your own map. And all this stuff is mostly spam proof. As you see, you can spam it. And it also, for cameras, it has a self-reset system, but you will have to add it in. But if I got out of the minecart, it will automatically reset my camera so it doesn't lock you out. At the same time, though, you can just click the button. So let's get into how this system works. So first is most of these commands here are all labeled to what it needs except for these top parts. The setup command is right here. It will run everything you need to, including putting the scoreboard on the side of your screen. If you don't want that, you can edit this command block or delete all this stuff here if you don't want to see the scoreboard. If not, you can also just do that, and that will make it invisible, but I'm going to keep it for right now. Everything in this whole block here, you do not need change, except for this block. There is a little book here on how to change it and why you need to change it. And all this book basically is telling you is that the chords right here, the 3062, 363, 362, those coordinates are the ones you change, and they're the coordinates that you want this minecart marker to be on. Thing right here. This is the most important armor stand in the game. And of course, if that gets destroyed as well, it does get reset. As for everything else is mostly in the way you build it. So as you see, it looks a little confusing on how you set it up, but this is exactly what you need to build in your own world. The minecart marker has to be 3 blocks under where you want the minecart. Minecart positioned on a end portal frame. The reason it's an end portal frame is so if you have blocks around it, you cannot push the minecart out of this area. The minecart marker then also, once it's spawned in your world, it will make a little green dot, and this green dot is to show you where your desk has to be. The desk is very important because what I'm doing is when I'm looking straight, on my crosshair, what the system does is basically draws a line straight forward like a laser pointer, and it's seeing if it matches up with positions that are set on this map. So if it's not exactly in this orientation, the system will not work. As you see, I can stand up here on top of it without being in the minecart, and if I look at A4, I see C4. If I look at C4, it's now E4. As you see, it's not correctly lined up. As soon as I sit where it needs to be, it is lined up. As for the setup and all the map arts, each block on a map is a 15 by 15 area. It's a 6 by 8 grid. This lets you have 48 different possibilities of buttons on your map. And of course, in your own world, you would build your own map. And you don't even have to use all the buttons. So like in the example I showed you, every button has the ability to be used, but every button is not used. So if I want to, I could use like button D3 or C5 or B1. It does not matter. It all works the exact same. And you can have up to one camera all the way, all of them. And not even cameras. You can control, like I showed you, you can control anything you want. So this could even be like your control panel in your own maps where the top part shows something. But like for FNAF 1, for instance, you could have your light be these areas up here, or your door controls being these areas right here, and that could control your doors in your actual area. Now, going on with how the commands work, all this stuff on the other side is all, well, this is just the particle, the green particle. You can delete this command block if you don't want it there. But all this part is the reset parts for when you get out of the minecart. So, like right now, if I'm in the minecart and I were to get out of it, I would still be stuck in the camera. However, I have some commands at the very end, as you see right here, that resets the camera. So when I do get out of the minecart, it runs through all those to reset it. This is good for, just making sure your games don't break halfway through. And of course, those are labeled as well. The top part is pretty simple. All it's doing is checking the orientation. And when it has the orientation, it looks at, I don't know if you can see it, but all it's checking for is looking if you are activating by punching the map or not. Once you are, it sets cam active, so you can take that signal to do everything you want. Everything over here is not used mostly. These are just placeholders for the demonstration purposes. But you can use any of these commands, and as you see at the end, you see sound trigger. These are your titles on your buttons. Use them as you may, but as you see, that's where you can get, your titles, so you can label your buttons. Now, let's get into the custom commands. Each custom command is about the same. You have a command block like this that's testing for what area is, and actually, let me tell you how I'm doing that real quick. When you're on the cameras, as you see, you'll see something called cam number. That is the ID of the camera. As you see, when I go through it, it's showing the ID. Every camera has its unique ID. As you see, C5 is 21, E2 is 34, F8 is 48. That is very useful because then you can check if cams are active and cam 1 cams. What cam 1 is just a number 1 that's always set, so you can use it to compare stuff. But the main part is it's checking if the cam number ID is 1. That means that if the cams are active, so you punch the screen, and you are looking at cam 1, this command block says it's okay, and it'll run this conditional command. What I have here is a reset, so it'll turn cam active to 0. That way, it's more like a button. So as you see, it turns 1 and then 0 really fast. And that's how you do a button input, and then you can run all the commands you want to run. I have it just playing a sound. Now, for the camera one, this is a little bit harder. So first, I want to have it so you can set it so when you're in it, you can press the same button to get you out of it. How I do that is, again, it checks if it's cam number 3, but instead of just instantly setting it to 0, it does do that, but also changes cam active, it adds 1 to it, and then this checks if it's greater than 2, it sets it to 0. There is a book explaining why everything does what it needs to do. But the way you do the camera commands is basically you have a on state, which is when it's 1, and an off state when it's 0. If it's on, you want to make it so the input permission on that is off, so they can't move their camera anymore. And you also want to make it so they go to their camera location. And for off, it enables their camera position and it clears the camera command. What that means is when I click number 3, it locks my player camera. So right now I can only see through the camera command, but as my player, I'm moving my mouse and it is not letting me look around. That way it keeps my cursor on the A3 so I can click it again to get out of it. Now let's say it does take a second, so you can click it and then look away really fast. Oh no, I can't click it to get out of it. What do? Just get out of the minecart and it will reset it using this reset command, which when that runs, it automatically just activates this command block, which runs these commands. Now, let's say you want to get this in your own world. Just simply join my Discord. Yep, self-promotion. Then go to world downloads, download this world, or download the structure block that is also in the world downloads. And you can paste this in any of your worlds. It's not coordinate specific at all. And to show that, I will just reset a command. Or reset the cameras. So let's say I want a camera right here. You don't need to do the stone bricks. I'm just doing it for fun. First thing you want to do, delete all this if you already have it in your world. And then get the blocks needed. Now, on here, you want to get the chords of where you are, 3, -60, -8. Change this command block to 3, -60, -8. And then you need the facing direction. So which way do you want your desk to be? I want my desk pointed, I would say this way. Let's just do it for that. So then you get the chords 2, -60, -8. Go back to the change this one. And then change that to 2, -60, -8. And then we're gonna reset that real quick. As you see, the command block spawn where it needs. So that is all working correctly. Then you want to put your end frame. This is where your seat's gonna go. And it's always gonna be 2 blocks above where you want it. So as you see, you should be able to walk right under it. And it's this right up here. Now, when I try to reset it again with that in, you'll see a little dot. This is your desk level. So let's get the pieces I need to build a pretty good desk. Of course, this would be your floor level right here. So as you see, we have a floor. I did not mean get in that. And then your desk is right here. I am great at Minecraft. And then for your desk, you want to go down here real quick. Place a block 1 under just like that, so it's at the top block of this, the minecart marker. Place your item frame and place the map you want to display. That will automatically put it at the top. As you see, the marker's still there. If you want to get rid of that, you can just delete this command block. And that's all there is to it. Every command that you have that's set to the screen, so all these will work exactly how it does if it were anywhere in your world or in a new world. And I see all the commands still work. So I hope this will help you guys build more advanced maps. I know the Bedrock community doesn't see a lot in terms of groundbreaking stuff like this. Well, I wouldn't call it particularly groundbreaking, but I think that you guys can use it to help make your maps better, make it more decorated because, you know, it is a map now for your selection panel. You builders can go crazy with the possibilities you can do on a map. And also you can technically have custom looking buttons too, since it's a map. Hopefully this was a pretty easy tutorial to follow around. Again, there's a lot of signs, books, and examples to help you guys along your way. And if you want to download this map for yourself, join the Discord, go to World Downloads, no verification required or any of that. Well, I think there is you need a verified Discord account, but just go there, get the download, world download, or the structure block download, put in your own world, and have fun.